Well, hello, everybody, and hello, and big welcome to Jake Weaver from Midnight on Earth. I am so terribly excited to have you today, Jake. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't think many of my people know, even though I have your little Midnight on Earth on my YouTube channel up there. I think some people will get to know you, and I'm so excited to get to know you too. Okay. Um, Jake, you have
Thank
a
you.
podcast. Midnight
Yes.
on Earth, right?
Yes. Midnight on Earth. Yes. Incredible
Would you,
podcast.
yeah. How do people know about this podcast? You have a YouTube, an Instagram, a what? You've got so much.
I usually point people towards the various podcast players. Most people have Spotify to listen to traditional music. I'm on Spotify, Audible, all the different places. I don't really do YouTube that much because
Right.
I've found that in the world of podcasts, people tend to focus on the podcast players. In fact, it's 99% of my listenership.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay. Well, I just want to tell everybody a little bit about you before, and this is what I know. I know a little bit about you though, and I thank you so much because I've been on your show, on your podcast, and so I'm so
That's
excited
right.
again. Okay. So Jake, as an open forum dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, we ask our questions on the edge of what is known and unknown. We reach into the ether and pull forth fruit, the esoteric, the supernatural, the hidden worlds. I love that. This podcast will guide you to other realms and bring you back home. A nexus of energy exchange with next level guests and out of this world topics. We will venture outward and inward, forward and into the beyond. Midnight on Earth will bring you the nourishment you need. It will fulfill your desire for deeper, a level of information, metaphysics, aliens, quantum physics, conspiracies, angels, and astral dimensions, ancient mysteries, modern mysteries, everything under the sun, and more. The bits between the bits. We will be there with the microphone. I love it.
Ah, thank you. I'm going to tell people I actually did write that. That was before Chat GPT and all of this AI writing that spits out this amazing copy. That was all just stream of consciousness right there. I wrote that in one
Beautiful.
burst.
Yes, yes. And some of the podcast titles you have, I'm just going to list a few, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
I think you have 170. I don't know. You have a lot, quite a
I've
few.
been doing it weekly, yes, since September of 2020. So I think we're at like episode 164, 65, somewhere in there.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you're worldwide. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yes. It definitely has a lot of coverage. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you have topics such as plant spirit communication in the world of fairies, channeling Archangel Lucifer, channeling Gary Garcia in the Grateful Dead. And it was so interesting because I looked that up and it's like I know somebody else who channels Gary Garcia. He must get around.
He's a very powerful soul, very powerful oversoul that manifested as Jerry Garcia in one incarnation. And Jerry Garcia is one of the most powerful humans that have probably ever lived on this planet.
Wow. Wow. I'm getting the chills as you say that. That's amazing.
He's a
Yes.
real
Okay.
subtle guy, real
Wow.
subtle.
Cracking the Matrix in the Law of Attraction, The Pull of God with Ram Dass, Crystal Consciousness, The Cedars of Humanity's Origins. I mean, this is just a few of your topics.
I know those were every single one of those episodes were amazing. When you said those titles, I was thinking of the guests and the lectures, and yeah, all really powerful information.
Wow. So have you always been interested? I mean, when did you decide to do this? And I mean, as a child, did you grow up in Portland, Oregon? Because I know you're in Portland now.
I am, yes, I am in Portland, and I was born in Illinois, and I grew up in South Florida. And I was always one of those black sheep kids.
Okay.
Your frequency just doesn't match the base frequency of everyone else. You stick out energetically like a sore thumb. That was my elementary, middle school, high school experience. You come into this dimension as a star seed potentially, or at the very least, you're coming from another dimension to help humanity move forward. But because of that, you're already vibrating in a different way. Your soul your consciousness, that energy essence of you is vibrating in a different way. So you manifest as these humans, right? To do this work. It's what we signed on for. You manifest and you're vibrating a different way. It was apparent to me my entire life. I just couldn't put words around it until later. Once I started studying these things, once I started understanding the language, then I could put like thought forms around it. But as a kid, as a child, you're just like, why am I vibrating differently? What does this mean? Why? Well, you're energy sensitive. Why don't you plug into the puzzle like other people do? You know, it's all very interesting. So because of that, to answer your question, that is what then led me to things that were resonant with that frequency, which are higher frequency topics, books, articles, science fiction. It just kept pulling me in that direction.
I see. And what about your family? Were you a black sheep in the family too, or just the community?
I was definitely as well, though. To my parents' credit, they were very open in the realm of science fiction, but I think it is their generation. I'm just about to turn 45. So I think it's their generation to really get in a groove and be okay with that. And I'm not going to say that that's everyone that was from that, I guess, the baby boomer generation. But what I will say is that there was a lot of programming in that time for people to be really happy, probably post depression, really happy with what they got, and then just stay in the groove. Don't question anything.
Uh-huh.
Just be happy you have a house and a job and you're paying your bills and just
Right.
chill. You know, it doesn't say anything. So being in a family like that, that's where I stuck out as a black sheep because I could see, you know, that this was a matrix, a form of a matrix, an artificial reality that was being reinforced by everyone's personal perceptions of that reality. And I could see that as a kid, but again, I couldn't put words on it. I was just like, what is going on? This seems dreamlike. I'm just weird. I'm just going to be weird in the corner and read my comic books and watch, you know, my science fiction movies and be happy.
Well, awesome. Um, but we're still, some people are still in that way, in that matrix that you're talking about. I mean, well, I don't even know what the percentage of population, because there is a percentage who's waking up, of course, like you and me, or have awoken, I guess. But I mean, there's always to be more
Oh, there's more.
awakened.
There's more.
There's always more. We're just in our human suit, right? And we were just talking a second ago about our human suit and how it does give us it's just part of our soul, but I appreciate it more and more now, because I feel like we won the jackpot to be here.
Yes, we absolutely did. And you have to understand that this vehicle that you're inside, people talk about body consciousness, but you have to understand. I'm sure you understand this and maybe your viewers, but just to put it out there, the body consciousness is the fact that the body itself is, in a way, an individual organism. It has its own consciousness. And as you rest within it as a light being, and you take on this symbiotic kind of synthesis with this physical body, you have to be able to negotiate and understand what your needs are and what the body's needs are. And when you understand that, because you're only in the third dimension, you're only being able to experience this temporal moment as the person that you are because of your beautiful body, then you have this wonderful reverence and respect for it. I wish I exercised more, of course. I wish I ate better. And, that's all related to the body. But at the same time, the body does ask for things that are unhealthy that it wants. And so you have to have that kind of understanding and relationship with your body in order to see what are wants, what are needs on both sides, and be with that. I jokingly say it's your greatest pets. You love your dog, you love your cat, you love your animals, but you're living in one, and it's the one that loves you the most. It's actually designed specifically to keep you in the third dimension for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And so you have to love it, you have to respect it. Yes, you get older, you understand these things.
Yeah.
And you know, again, though, you also have to be able to negotiate with it when it has requests that are not healthy for anyone, right? Because the
Right. It
body
is.
has needs.
It's a balance. And
Absolutely.
nobody's perfect. And I love that you say, that even you, Jake, you could exercise more. And by the way, and I'm sorry that I know that you're on the end of COVID. So thank you
Yes, I do
again.
have an illness. No, we're just hanging out, people. This is the beauty of Zoom. We're able to conduct these in a situation where I'm a little under the weather, but I'm still here,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, thank you. But the balance, and so, maybe it's okay. We have to appreciate that we have these emotional things, like an emotional attachment to, say, chocolate cake, or maybe there's an emotional attachment to running or sitting, or so. And that's, I think, the beauty. I mean, I think I do appreciate this about us, because I think that cosmic beings look at us and say, well, I wish I had that. We're pretty
Oh,
special.
yes, I've heard that from several people that understand these type of things, and it does seem like there's a waiting list. There's
Yes.
different aspects of the universe where things are ordered differently, and people are existing in different ways, and they want to have the human experience because supposedly now. I don't know, but I'm just going to say intuitively it feels this way that it's tactile. Everything's tactile here. You get the five sensory experience, you get the six sensory experience. Food, I swear, I feel like that Earth is the Portland of
Yeah.
at least the galaxy.
Yes, for the
You go to
foodies. Yes.
yes, people who don't know, Portland is known for its good food. We have incredible restaurants here. And it seems like Earth, just the food of Earth, is amazing. And being able to have intimate physical relations is, it seems, potentially unique or at least rare in the universe in the way that humans do it, where we unite physically and energetically in a lovemaking type scenario. That's also why we incarnate here, to just have that, to have that
Mhm.
human experience. So it's so special. You're right.
Yeah, it is very special. I know. So we just have to appreciate. And the people who say, "Oh, why did I pick this?" Oh, yeah, we hopefully they'll appreciate it more after listening to this. You
Well,
know.
yes, because we do choose our own reality. We choose every aspect of it. And there's also subplots, you could say. You have your soul's journey, your soul's purpose, your soul's curriculum. But then at the same time, there's some dimension, there's some place where you ask to be here, where you volunteer to help humanity evolve. So there's other layers to the experience as well in those higher dimensions where our true self is, and we
Right.
come here to
Yeah.
do work. We have a
Right.
purpose,
Right.
and it's not just to be human, to experience the human experience. A lot of people do manifest here for a specific purpose, though. Perhaps some people just want to be human one time. They just want to try it. They don't want to make a mark. They just want to go through the human life experience
Yeah.
relatively effortlessly, and then carry on to the next dimension. I'm not sure.
Could be. I think they say that it's one of the hardest planets. Now, I mean, there's probably 200 billion or more. I don't, who knows how many planets there are. There may even be another million Earths, or somewhat kind of like Earth, right? But, well, anyway, I just think it's very special. We need to appreciate it. And it's not just humanity that's evolving, but it's Earth that's evolving.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Earth has its own story. We might have talked about this on the episode that you were on that has yet to be released. It's coming soon, people. But yes, the Earth has its own story. It has its own evolutionary process. It has its own magnetic fields, which are related to that evolutionary process, that are pulling in a certain direction with or without us. And truly, it's actually with us because we're a part of the Earth. So, in a
Yeah,
way, we're evolving whether we like it or not, because we're
that's right.
so connected to the Earth, and the Earth itself is evolving. Matter itself is evolving, if you can put your head around that one.
Yes, I know. Our DNA is evolving. There's everything is
Everything,
evolving.
yeah.
Nothing is standing still. Nothing. Yes, yes, yes. Um, okay, now I have some, I'm curious. Do you have a favorite alien species,
You
or
know,
one that you feel, or a few maybe that you feel especially connected?
Personally, I feel very connected to the Pleiadian vibration, is what we'll call it for this interview. Now, I've been told several times uh, that I resonate more like a Lyran. So I don't know. I've heard this so many times from different people. I don't know. I can't give you a concrete answer about any of it, but what I can tell you is intuitively, I feel very connected to whatever is going on in that area of the universe.
The Seven Sisters.
Ever since I was a kid, it
Oh,
was
really?
like magnets. You see it in the sky. I grew up in South Florida, like we talked about. In the early 90s, it was a big fad for people to go out with their telescopes. It's like pre-internet. Everybody's out with their
Yes.
telescope. Isn't that beautiful? And we're
Right.
looking at the Pleiadian star cluster, and I just you feel that ethereal pull. And of course, the Pleiadians show up as master teachers to all these different cultures all over the world. So they had a hand in humanity's development, but there's something more. And when I think about it, what I really think, Kim, is that it's just people, beings like us, light beings in physical bodies that have evolved to that place where we would like to go also, is the simplest
Hmm.
way to put it.
Where
And
humans think about, yeah.
yeah, and if you think about it like this, okay, so you unite as a planet, right? So we make it, everything's great. We do it, right? Yay, we made it. High frequency, united Earth. Oh my God, we're under love. It's just, you want to cry just thinking about it. Okay, so then you connect with all the other beings who then evolve to that same state. So all these other cultures around, let's say your galaxy, right? And then other so all this evolution happens. You're talking different civilizations. You're talking probably hundreds of billions of years, and then whole galactic clusters get there and they unite together. And I don't know how far it goes, but it seems like once you get to that level of resonance where everyone, the love frequency has spread through galaxies and coalesced into this one being, that is what's going on over there. And
Uh-huh.
those people, those beings are it's love. It's like
Love.
love like we've never probably experienced as humans, because we can't, maybe, I don't know, this is all conjecture, but you just feel that intense love. And of course, they want to help. That's why the star seed people, which I feel connected to answer your question, they want to help. They're loving. Our evolution is tied to their evolution because
Yes.
everyone's evolution is tied together in the
Right,
entire
right,
universe and
right. That's
multiverse.
right. Because we are one. You can't, I don't think we can separate, just like we're one here on Earth and that we are one with Earth, like we are Earth. Well, we are also Palladium. We are, but we are going to have,
Oh,
we're all one. And that's what we're moving toward, is feeling that.
it's
Um,
beautiful.
yes, it is beautiful. Right. And I want to go back to the Lyran thing, because now now, first of all, I believe, this is my own personal belief system, that yes, we can be connected to several, right? So we can be connected to Palladian, we can be connected to the Lyrans. So it's not going to exclude the Lyrans for you. Your lighting is really low right now.
No, that's so strange. The lights just went out, people. Hold on just 1 second. Um, you start talking about the.
Yes, yes, good.
Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm not sure what happened there.
Interesting.
It happens all the time. Every
Does
time.
it?
Every time
Wow.
I'm in a high frequency conversation, there's some disruption. Some people will go so far as to say that it's intentional AI type situation there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your
Oh,
question.
no. Then we'll talk about the Lyran. Back to the Lyran.
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel very connected to, well, for me personally, I feel more connected to Series B, only because I don't know that much about Series, but that's where I feel like more of my home. But also Lion and the Lion people. And I know you might say Lyran is similar to the Lion people. I don't know that it is, but anyway, so there's a whole thing with me and Lion. So I think, because I look at you and I can see why people would say Lion or Lyran. You know what I mean?
I do have a Leo rising in my astrological chart.
There you go. Okay. See, I think, and
The hair, of course, people. I don't know if you could see this ridiculous long hair.
yes, 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 yes. So there's something there too. And the lions, I believe, sit with the angels with healing. And lions are very protective and strong and courageous. And what better being can help protect the angels? And they work together. I think.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes. I mean, we don't know exactly how animal consciousness works, but I know that it feels like, from my perspective, that they're tapped into source and are able to see these higher frequency beings like angels more
Oh,
directly
yeah.
than we can, because there's something about the animal consciousness that's it's both
Yeah.
more raw, like almost like a Garden of Eden type consciousness in a way.
Right, right. And I don't even think of the lion as an animal. I, I just think if it's is a alien. And I think it's more ancient than humans. I mean, it's quite powerful. So I think it's a compliment if people are telling you this.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I definitely take it as a compliment because I'm here to help people, and I've had memories and I've had these dreams and I've had these experiences where I get some kind of validation about this perspective. And this has happened even before I really understood the starseed consciousness. As I was doing this podcast, it was the guests that really helped me activate that. And it was really, you were the first one that really brought in the Arcturian energy on the first time you were on my show, episode 30. And then later with uh, a woman named Saoirse Claire. She's a starseed coach. She helps people kind of get in touch with their starseed selves. And then Elena Danan, who, if you're familiar with her, she's a very prominent author and speaker in that kind of subculture world, the people that are interested in starseeds and what it's all about. She's really prominent there. So once she was on the show, the between all of you wonderful people, it just kind of activated that. And I always knew, and I've had so many experiences. I've had so many UFO experiences. So I always knew, but I just don't know. I'm just trying my best to what to do with that information. You're like, what do you do with that information, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
like trying my best to just utilize my talents to like follow through with what that information kind of alludes
Yes.
to.
Beautiful. I mean, because you are doing it. You're doing it with your podcast. I mean, you're reaching so many people. And I mean, I know we talked about this before. This huge angel for you is all about this network. Um, so yeah, you're doing an amazing job getting the information out. I mean, and you make it normal. And I think this is where we are to normalize it. It's not weird. I just feel like it's yesterday's news sort of now.
Well, when you experience it, it's like it's real. Like it
Yeah.
when it's like beyond real, even in certain cases, is actually like more real than real. Then there's no going back. Like you've crossed the threshold of knowing and your frequency's permanently shifted. So you go out there as a avatar of truth. You're just telling people the truth. And I often wanted people to understand, I talk about this on my show, is that the divine experience, as intense and as powerful and as overwhelming, believe me, people, it can be super overwhelming. It's also fun and funny. Like
Uh-huh.
fun and funny. It doesn't have to always be like the entirety of God is fun and funny. Like it's okay to laugh. Like
It's
you know,
okay to
it's
laugh.
it's
I
it's
know.
okay to like bring in that like kind of jokester energy into the divine experience because that's what's palpable to humanity. Humans love comedy. Humans love to laugh. They feel connected. It activates biochemistry.
Yeah.
And if that energy, that comedy, that fun, that funniness can help people understand divinity and big topics better, then that's kind of what I feel like I'm trying to do. Is
Oh,
really just
wonderful.
be superhuman, like not superhuman, be like very human,
Yeah.
be just
Yeah.
my true authentic self. Everybody says I'm a funny guy, so like just try to be my true authentic self and then try to just talk about these topics, and do it in a way where we don't have to light candles and like be bowing like, oh my god, we're talking about angels, this is so heavy. Like, we can joke about it, we can laugh, we can be sitting, you know, casually just hanging out and just make cracking jokes. Like, it's fine. Like, that's the thing. Like, and because I feel like that heaviness can, in a way, you know, I don't want to say push people away, but it can be a lot to process, so people don't know how to process it, so maybe they wait to engage with it again.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
So let's
Yeah.
just make it fun. Let's make it fun, easy. Let's make it easy to access. By the way, the angels, as me and Kim talk about constantly, the angels are easy to access. All of this stuff that we talk about, and I kind of deliver in a way that's palpable to the masses and also intellectual and articulate, is that we can do. It's all there. It's all there for us. Like, there's no part of it that is exclusive to one human. All of divinity is there for us, and we can access it. Let's learn about it. Let's learn about different people's perspectives throughout history. Let's learn about all the different perspectives. Like, you talked about channeling Lucifer. That was a, you know, episode people were confused about. I got some emails about that one.
I bet. I bet. I know I haven't listened to it, so I will though.
It's interesting, but you know, it's not as what you would expect. It's, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
supposedly the Lucifer character was an angel. So, you
Yeah.
know, at one point, so this is what she's speaking to, that aspect.
Yes. That's what I kind of thought. Yeah. Do you foresee humans looking like we do now? Let's say in 1,000 years, are we going to look a little different? Do you know? Have you thought about that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I watched this incredible show while I was a little ill, people. Let me tell you, I was kind of on the couch and I was watching these documentaries. I'm not a big fiction person. I don't really like to watch shows, but I'll watch kind of like sensationalized documentaries. I think they're interesting. And shoot, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
We're talking about humans looking different
Oh,
in the
okay,
future.
okay. So I want, you can edit that part out. So I watched this documentary about a remote viewer, a person actually who could control his out of body experiences after a near death experience. And the CIA had him remote view Mars 1 million BC. Now, he didn't know he was remote viewing Mars. They just gave him coordinates and asked him to kind of interpret his psychic impressions that he was getting. And this is a verified psychic that was working with the CIA. This is all from declassified documents. And when he's talking about the humans of Mars, he was talking about how they were like, they looked just like us, but they were like 12 feet tall. You know, there were certain similarities. So I think that is certain humans' natural state. 1,000 years from now, it's possible we could be taller, definitely bigger skull, and but or not, like, or not. That's the thing, because we're putting our perceptions of what the human being and the human brain is through our current perceptual filters. Now, the human brain could be vastly more powerful than we can even comprehend. So we may not need to evolve anymore in 1,000 years. We may physically look exactly the same.
Right, right. Or get shorter.
Yeah.
Because it would be a little bit more efficient to be shorter.
It would be efficient. It just depends on the planet, right? I guess if we're going to be traversing the universe, there's a middle ground, just so we fit on every planet.
Yeah. Do you feel like I know people are talking, moving, having some places set up on other planets for us to live. I'm wondering if that's really a reality. Is this just for a select few, or is this just temporary? Or, you know what I mean?
Well, my intuition and what I've kind of downloaded on my own about this, and this is just my perspective, doesn't mean it's right or wrong, it just is. I think that we will be out there en masse, like expanding as humans throughout various galaxies and universes, and we will evolve to a higher frequency spiritual understanding. So there won't be that type of us versus them, like kind of class situation. We will all have access to the God's beautiful stars and the universe that's out there, because we will all be one. We'll finally crack that nut, as a squirrel would say.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be one.
That's what we were working so hard for. If we can just get there, if we can get to the United Earth, that's not a corporate trading block, that's not the United Earth controlled by corporations, but under love, then we did it. But go ahead,
Under
Kim. I'm
love.
sorry.
Yeah, no, under love. And then also when we get to a little higher place, we might be able to help other planets, other people that are either on the first, I don't know about first D, I don't know, the second D and 3D levels, and we'll be helping them.
Exactly. We're going to be emissaries of love and light. And here's the thing, so many people get caught up, Kim, in this idea that we need darkness to experience light, right? There's
Uh-huh.
this yin yang concept. So it's hard for people to let go of lower frequency behaviors as a species, like the, like in a way we're letting it still exist because so many people feel like, well, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't understand the light and learn the lessons and things like that to really grasp those higher concepts. Now the thing is that we've evolved past that now, so we're kind of stuck a little bit. And currently, well, it's all happening according to plan, but there's a little bit of a plug. And the reason is because of that understanding that humans truly feel like we need to exist in a state of conflict. Now, if you've ever played music in your life, you will know what a piano keyboard looks like and a C major scale. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So very simple: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's a C major scale. Okay.
Uh-huh.
On the bottom, you have low C. On the top, you have high C. Okay, low C, high C, low, high, right? Okay,
Uh-huh.
imagine that is our current spiritual bandwidth. Right, this is human consciousness. We're a C major scale. So
Okay.
as we evolve, as we integrate more love, as we become more really than we were before, true evolution, then we jump up an octave. Okay, so same
Yes.
matter,
Yeah.
different octave. So
Yes.
now what we used to define as high C, this is our absolute best in the previous situation, is now low C. And high
Mhm.
C is way up there. It's like, oh my goodness, we've done it. So it's like now we're in a different octave. And we can do that again and again and again. So those universal laws of yin and yang can still apply, but it doesn't have to be so barbaric. It doesn't have to be actually in any way that hurts any type of being permanently or in a way that's destructive to their conscious. Now, we can learn those yin yang lessons from the other species, from the other civilizations that we're going to encounter out there
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
a lower density. We'll be able to look at those people and go, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I can't. It's so sad that they're in that state of evolution right now. Look at the barbaric, violent behavior that's happening. That's not us. We're way up here. We're the humans. Like we've done it. We've passed it. We love each other. We are there. There's no more conflict within the human sphere. Again, doesn't mean that it negates that yin yang law that so many people are attached to, which is fine. It's a universal law. I get it. But it can be transmuted by our raising ourselves up an octave at a time. And then we're
Right, right.
and that
But
yin and
that,
yang, it's
yeah.
pretty much one step below pure light. How about that?
I love it. Yeah, it's a beautiful way to look at that. And I think, but this is why we're human. And when we are mostly on that 5D, then I think you're right. And we're going to be right there with that.
That's the destiny of humanity. Now it's just part of our mission. We're supposed to be these beings that are able to kind of transcend time and space and matter. We're light beings in a
Yeah.
physical body. That's our true self.
Yeah.
I am, again, as we started this podcast, I love my body. My body's amazing. Like I'm very blessed to have this body. I know you feel the same way. But the thing is that we're light beings. We get so we do identify with our body habitually, and then you got to break out of that, and still you catch yourself sometimes. But that's the thing. It's just a vehicle. It's a living vehicle. It has a life. It has a spirit of its own. But that's technically not you. You're
That's right.
not that. You're the
Yeah.
light being.
Right, right. I know we're the light beings. I know. I believe our light being lives already in 5D or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 12 or whatever, right? And
Yes.
we're just part of us is just here on the 3D.
Yes,
But
and
yeah,
and
we're here to,
Kabbalism, yes, Kabbalism will tell you you're in 12 different places at once right now. You're
yeah,
the oversoul, and this is just one of you. You're
that's
in
right,
different dimensions, different multiverses, parallel worlds, wherever
right,
you are in 12 different
right,
places at once right
right.
now.
That's right. And that's why we won the jackpot to be
Yes.
here in this place to raise it up. We did win the jackpot. Yay.
I feel super blessed because let me tell you, the food here is amazing. The music, the comedy, the artwork. Let me tell you about that natural settings on this planet. This
Yeah.
place is amazing. The human experience is amazing. I love the humans. I love everything about it. We just have to shake off the low frequency behavior. Now I'm talking collectively. Okay, we can, I say it's our own lives. We do good things. We do things maybe we wish we wouldn't have. We can change that, of course. But collectively, we have to visualize and understand that yes, it is possible to shake off the low frequency behaviors permanently. Like
Yeah,
they're
to
gone.
be permanently,
Yeah, they're gone.
especially on this beautiful planet. That's it. Because we know we've already done it other places. Do you feel like, when we go beyond this dimension and we go without time and space, then our soul self might look at us now as what's happening now, but our future self is looking at us now. Do you know what I mean?
Where you're kind of your self that's outside of the current time space kind of coordinate, you could say, and it's kind
Yeah,
of observing, but it's still you. It's your future self observing your past self.
right. Isn't that cool to think about? Like
It,
maybe my 5D self is looking at this self, or my 60 or whatever.
Well, I
12D.
believe so. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it feels like you get these messages, and I know you're a sensitive person like me, and you're far more trained than I am. But you get these messages, you're like, okay, that feels like an ancestor. Okay, that feels like an angel. But sometimes you get those messages that are just something else.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think that that's the higher self. That's your, that's not the angel. It's not the angel. That's actually you in 5D or 60 or wherever that is. We're putting these labels on it, people. We don't really. It's
We
hard.
don't, I know. I don't think they
We're just
use
trying to
labels.
help you understand, right? So, just
I
get
don't
some
think Source
parameter.
uses labels like that.
No, no, but it is probably with some highly sophisticated science measurable. Like there's like frequency
I think so.
waves and ways of understanding it. I don't know.
I know, I think it probably is very measurable in science, so that we just don't know. I do believe that. Just like when you're looking at the brain waves, right? The beta, alpha, theta, delta, gamma brain waves, and they can measure that. I feel like they can measure frequency of a human otherwise, besides just the brain waves.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure you've seen Kirlian photography where
Yes.
they can photograph. This was actually developed in the 30s. The interaction between the gases in the atmosphere and the actual energy that's coming off of your body, and it creates a photographable aura.
Yeah,
So
I know.
cool.
That is so cool. I've had so many of those taken. When I was in Portland, there's a couple of stores there that I would go to all the time because I used to live in Portland.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Yes.
and I would go, get my donut. That was years ago.
I think it's really cool. It's just one of those things that proves that we're so much more than the physical. And I think, like you were saying earlier, we are awakening to that. There is a seems to be there is a progression within mainstream consciousness because we're talking about it. Me and you and your listeners and the people that are watching and listening to this, just that alone is shifting things. That's how intertwined we are.
Yeah,
And there is again energy coming from these other civilizations that also want us to evolve and join the family. They're ready
right.
for us. They feel like we're ready to leave the nest
Yes.
almost.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think you're so right. I like the way you put it, though, because you're actually making it understandable for me, because I was thinking this way, and then I'm kind of like you can get confused or off track, and then it's like you got to come back to center. And actually, I think what the center is love, coming back to that center of love, and then it's like you look at things. It's got to all be about love, no matter what.
Right. And that's where fear dissolves, where you understand that not only are you made out of the divine is love, everything's made out of the divine. It's all made out of one thing. And guess what? It's love, people. It's love. Isn't that amazing? So there's nothing to fear if you leave your physical body. I mean, my God, Kim's a hospice nurse. Like she deals with this all the time and a medium. So it's like, that you're taken care of no matter what happens. It's love. It's love. Everything is love. you're made out of love. So there's just no fear. There's just no fear.
Right. Right. Now that's why, again, we need to appreciate where we are. I mean, this
Yes.
is exciting. More and more, it's so exciting. The more we know, the more excited I am.
But we have to take action too. If people are listening to this and they're feeling this information, they're feeling so resonant with it, it feels so good. You have to understand that that means you need to take action. You came here probably as well on a mission. Now, so many people say the star seed thing, and other people will talk about the 144,000 mentioned in the book of Revelation and make it kind of more biblical. Wherever that shows up, I don't know, but I do know that there are so many of us that chose to come to this dimension, to this planet. And it was probably a long wait, but they also volunteered for a different mission. They don't, they're not the person that's just going to use their whole lifespan just kind of marinating. No, they're here to take action. They've come here for a specific purpose. Those people have volunteered, and they're here to help humanity evolve and activate. And I think that that's huge. People feel this information, and that's what it is. We really did come here for a purpose, not just our own individual life purpose as a being, succeed, find your talent, succeed, all those wonderful things, but
Right.
there's a bigger purpose. We're here to activate the humans.
Right. And bigger purpose. But it could be just holding love in your heart. That is big in itself, because if a person can stay in love and compassion, I mean, not everybody can do that all the time.
No, it's very hard. It's very hard, especially when you're bombarded with so much low frequency information in mainstream media. It's designed to keep you away from that. But
That's
the
right.
thing is again, there's something coming that's unstoppable because it's part of the Earth's evolution. So, you know, those people will be okay. They're going to be fine. But it's the faith. Once you have that faith, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to grow this podcast from absolute zero to consistent listeners in 87 countries, thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are coming and loving it.
Wow. That's amazing. That really is amazing. Wow. So I know for sure you see the humans. We've already gone across over the hump, and we are going toward the light. We're not going to have we're not going
No,
to destroy ourselves or anything like that.
no, absolutely not. In a lot of ways, I default to Ram Dass, the spiritual teacher.
Yes.
His guru, Neem Karoli, often said, everything is perfect. People would always ask him, oh, what about this current political situation? What about this? Everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. That's all he would say. And I firmly, firmly believe that, because everything's going according to a plan that we are a part of, but we don't have access to the blueprints. Maybe you can get glimpses of it in deep meditation, but there's a bigger plan unfolding, the story of the human race. And
Yeah.
I think that we are absolutely going to that place. It's unstoppable. So we have to let go. We have to let go of the fear. Fear is the absence of faith. We have to let go of the fear and just have faith in yourself. Have faith in humanity. Have faith that we're going to go in the right direction.
Right. I think you're right. And I think it's even not just faith, but knowing it, because I have to go back to the love. When we can feel the love, we know we're okay, because it is a blissful thing. So we know we're okay no matter what, So
Oh
I
yeah.
love that.
Yes, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's humanity is going to access these frequencies and these feelings that we're talking about more, just naturally. This may seem, as we're talking about this may seem like, wow, this is like kind of advanced, but you have to understand that 5D consciousness is what we're growing into, again, whether we like it or not. So, just have faith in the process, have faith in the divine love, have faith in love. that
Yes.
that love, well, I know this is going to sound strange. Have faith that love loves you. Like, what the heck? Like, it's like,
That's
have
right.
faith that water's wet. It's like,
Right. It's our divine right. It's our divine
yes,
right. Take up that divine right
yes,
to have that knowledge of the soul. We know from the soul.
we do.
Um, but yes, so it is still people still, we are, again, we have our filters. And so we have some limitations because of that. But to go into the heart, then we open it up. We open up those portals to the divine. And that's where we are. And this is why the community, by talking about this on community, then people feel it, then they feel connected, then they feel worthy. I just think it's so beautiful that we can do this in community now.
Yes, we're talking about it. It's instant. That's the great part of this technology that we have. We can have these instant communications. This can be on YouTube for 10 billion people to watch and listen to anytime in remote locations. There's so much going on right now. And if you really look at the human experience, you realize that we don't have any specific goals. So let's make our goal heaven on earth. How about we make let's team up all humans on the planet under one goal, and let's make this place the best place it can possibly be. Because here's the thing, we're in this energetic quantum hologram. Our mind, which is not our brain, obviously some people say that, but it's not. Our mind creates the reality. Our subconscious is literally, to simplify it, spitting out reality and creating it in real time. And collectively, other humans, these other minds, individuated minds, are also creating their reality. So if we can get a hold of that, if we can get a hold of that reality creating process, is really just understanding how your subconscious mind works, and we can create any reality that we want to live in. The gloves are off. We can create any reality. So why not make this place the best possible place it can be? Why not make a united earth? We have that power. We have that power. Human beings, individually, and when we team up collectively, we have the power to map reality and make this world any world that we want. The earth is infinite. It's going to regenerate. It loves us. It's here for us. It's a living being, and it loves us. And it's understanding we're having a moment right now, but we can get past that, and we can have any world that we want. So that's what I want people to understand. We have that power. Once we snap into that, that's kind of what it is. We're going to snap into that. We're going to understand that we're all light beings, and that nothing really, nothing makes, like, well, how should I say this? There's no real differences. Like, we're all light beings. We're all the same. It doesn't matter our age, our gender, like wherever we live, our ancestry, our history. It doesn't matter. That's the one thing that we all are. That's the one thing that unites us.
That's true.
We're all one family of light. We're the rainbow family of living light, you could say.
Right.
I've heard that term before. And that's the thing. When we awaken to that consciousness, when we truly get that, boom, we're there.
Yeah. It's already there. The thing is, we just have to be aware of it.
Yes.
We just have to pull off this veil or whatever it is to be aware of it. But it's there. It's been there forever.
It's absolute truth. It's the natural state. It's not the matrix. The matrix is what we created as humans, these systems, these societies, and we've given them life. We're saying, oh, that's just how it is. And these human created systems are the matrix. We're living within it, but we have to remember it was put on top of something that was already there. It has its own paradigms, its own rules, its own methods of existing. And it has nothing to do with us in a way.
Right.
But that's the true reality. That's the difference.
Yes. And we don't want to limit the unlimited. That's one of my teachers always says this: do not limit the unlimited you. So and this is why you and me and others like us, we just open that portal, say, hey, it's here, just be aware, because then it's like, okay, once you're aware, then you can escape from this everyday matrix.
Yes, and we can make it a good matrix. It doesn't necessarily have to be it's just where it is right now. It's so fake and it's an illusion, and people forgot. People forgot that this was built on top of something that was already there. They totally think that the matrix is the only thing that matters. That's like the only game in town. But no, it's on top of something. So people like us, you have these experiences, you have these awareness expansion experiences, and you can work within the matrix. That's what we're doing. We're working within this matrix, this artificial reality, to help wake people up, much like the character Neo in the Matrix movie, who went into the AI simulation to help people wake up. We're doing this spiritually. We're just helping you wake up to the divine experience that's right there, to the extraterrestrial and multidimensional family that's right there, to all of this energy, the love that's right there. It's
Right
right
there,
there.
right
It's
there.
always been there.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like the multidimensional beings that are around us, whether they're uh, on top of the earth, in the earth, wherever they are they help? I mean, can they be our guides too? And can they interfere with us? You know what we're doing? Because I think there's a debate, right? Oh, we're going to stand up. Well, the limit is only nuclear weapons, or there's certain things that yes we can do or no we can't do. Can they interfere? What do you think? And can they be our guides?
I think some of these high frequency beings are already our guides, and yes, they can, but then
Yes.
I feel like there probably is some sort of limit to something like technology transference. Like,
Uh-huh.
but then perhaps some beings broke the rules and gave us the advanced technology, or
Right.
we reverse engineered it, or maybe a mixture of both, and then we evolved in a different way, so and broke those rules. It's possible. But if we're talking about astral entities, then yes, those astral entities that don't really even take physical form can help us or hinder us, but we have to be really, really careful about that. I personally recommend just really working with angelic energy and your ancestors, and the ancestors energy. I feel like you would know better than me, Kim, if people would impersonate an ancestor. I don't think they would, like some of these.
Yes, I have seen that.
You have. Oh man. So I guess
Yeah.
what, should we just focus on angels because there's so much energy?
I saw it one time. Well, I think what everybody should focus on what makes them feel comfortable.
Yes.
If they love angels, focus on the angels. If they and all, it doesn't really matter what it is, whether it's angels, whether it's the shamans in this, whether it's the Asian spirit doctors, whether it is the green healers or the blue Arcturians, it doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable with it and it feels good to you. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. These are just titles, but because even they are all just light beams.
Right. There's just so much, and it's exciting. The human story, it's exciting. You look outside the window, it's beautiful. Earth is fun. You hear these things in mainstream consciousness that may seem negative. Just push that out. Everything's fine. We're moving exactly where we need to go, and it's a beautiful, beautiful experience.
It is, I know. And again, I maybe I just want to end here in a moment, but just to feel so appreciative of just being here, like, oh, we should all give ourselves a hug, right? And say,
Yeah.
I love me, everybody, I love me. It's
Yes,
just
I love me. I love my body. I love my family. I love my star family. I love the fact that in spite of all the hardships, I chose to help humanity evolve. I love it all. And that's why we're here. We can do this. Don't you want that, people? Like listening, like, wouldn't you rather have that? If the gloves were off, if all the limits were removed and you can have any earth you wanted, you would want the best possible earth, which contain the best for everyone. The
right.
love just as, so we can have that, people. That's how the divine works. There's no limits, there's no limitation, everything's infinite.
Well, yeah, we can make it, just as you said, we can make it any way we want. We can make it most beautiful place. We can make it paradise. We can make it beautiful, even more beautiful colors, more vibrant flowers. And I can even, as I'm seeing, now for me, I love flowers. So I can imagine having huge, beautiful flowers and bright colors. And, that would be my earth, all flowers.
Of course, and think of how many people would want to manifest here once we're at that state of vibration. That is going to be like, oh, everybody's going to want to come here because and that's our purpose. The earth is a blank canvas. The third dimension is a blank canvas. We are manifestors. We are beings that have the ability to make something from nothing. So collectively, we have a purpose. We have a mission, and that's to take this planet, this blank canvas, and mold it into a heaven on earth where we are all together in love, where no matter where a being manifests on this beautiful planet, they're going to have the best possible experience. And we
Oh,
can do
oh,
that.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, yay. I know. See, I can visualize what you're stating. We can do that. So thank you, Jake, for being so inspirational. Whoa, it's so wonderful talking to you today.
Yeah, that was
You-
just like, wow, it was so beautiful in the street. I can't even believe an hour's gone by. This is just unbelievable.
Yes, yes. Now, I want to make sure people know where to reach you. Can you just tell? I know Midnight on Earth. And when I want to, I just go on my computer, midnightonearth.com, and
Mhm.
that's how I listen. But I know other people can do Spotify.
It's everywhere a podcast is. There's several podcast players on your app store, whether you have an Android or an Apple phone. There's several free podcast players, but of course, Spotify, if you're an Amazon customer, Audible, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where podcasts are found, you can find it. And it's midnight with a comma, like you're reading it in a book, midnight on Earth. And yes, of course, midnightonearth.com, the website. You can find me there as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. This has been awesome. I love this conversation. I would love for you to come back sometime. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I knew this is going to be amazing. Kim, you and I have the best conversations, and I want everybody listening to realize how amazing it is that Kim is here doing this. She's a high frequency, almost angelic lady. I pick up the angel energy so strongly from her, and I just love talking with her. So I'm super honored to be here. It was a great episode. Thank you, Kim.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. I feel the same about you. And the lions. Now we have that connection too, because I feel I'm also a lion. So there we go.
Okay.
We must have known each other back then.
I have a feeling. Yes, I do
Yeah.
have that strong feeling.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching. And please look up Jake Weaver on Midnight on Earth. Bye-bye.
Bye now.